DJ. Let's get rid of that. Let's add the window capture. What's happening with my window? There we go. There we go. There we go, baby. What just happened here? That. Bogus. There we go. Hey. YouTube, what's up? We live stream. Etrexo Army, Etrexo family. What's up with you guys? We are live today. Currently in a JPY buy right now. At 142.49. We're looking for a 1-to-1 on this trade. If you're watching the stream, if you got to this stream after the fact, go ahead and drop a like on this video just so that YouTube can spread this video out to as many people as possible. Also, subscribe to the channel if you like the content that's on the page. There's going to be a lot more content similar to the stuff that you're seeing right now. And I do plan on being a lot more active on the account, that's for certain. There we go. Getting some viewers. There we go. We're getting some viewers. Go ahead and drop a like so we can get this video out to as many people as possible. Currently I'm in a GJ buy at 142.49. We're getting a nice little retracement, but that's a-okay, right? So you see, the only thing I don't like about this trade, shout out to the first like. Shout out to the first like. The only thing I don't like about this trade is the fact that we have this trend line, right, that's been descending for months. for months, actually for years. So it started, we had our descent that started back in, I'll get that out of there, January 2018, right? So we were making our lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. We've been doing that for some time now, right? Now we're approaching this trend line once again, and we're having a struggle to break above this trend line, right? This is on a weekly time frame. So when you're trading, you wanna be in confluence with all your time frames. You wanna understand what all of your time frames are telling you, so that when you do take your trade, you know you're in line with your bias, whatever the case may be. So let's see here. So after, you know, we see this, we got all these little levels mapped out. So we got this blue area. This is, you know, price coming back to retest that wick, right? And then this level is just a Fibonacci extension level, or a negative 27 level off of the daily level. So come down here, we see that, all right, now we're no longer looking way back there. Now we're looking at current price, right? So at current price, we have price was, you know, doing this thing, and then it broke these, let's see here. So after it made a new low, it created a new lower high, and it created a higher low, created a higher high, created a higher low, created a higher high, and then created a higher low. And since then, price has just been slowly trucking along. None of this stuff is a higher high, right? It's higher lows, but it's no higher highs. Why? Because this high wasn't broken yet. We broke this high here. This created a higher low. This created a higher high. So price could be coming back to form a higher low before it creates a higher high on the daily level, right? But we know one thing for certain, that because this was the area that broke this previous high, we take our Fibonacci tool, we map it out from the lows to the highs, and we get this negative 27 extension because price came back down to like this 61.8 zone, right? If it came to the 38.2, we would map out that negative 61, right? And that negative 61 is way up here in this. I get this little GBP. What is this thing right here? I don't even know why that's there. Way up here in this 143.85, basically like 144 level, right? So now what we do is, I think I may have been, I don't know, yeah. What was it? Let me check some real quick. Price has made a dramatic turn on me. I'm realizing that the market don't like to play around 3 o'clock. There's no buys at 3 o'clock. There's always buys around like 7 a.m. We might have to move these streams to another time. There's definitely no buys around 3 o'clock. Every morning I take my buys, I get stopped out, and then 7 o'clock the joint runs like for 70 pips. So we're gonna see how it play out later on in the session. So, all right, so we got our negative 27 level. All right, let's get rid of this now. We don't need that no more. All right, so once we had that drawn out, all of this was just noise. I mean, we could have been taking buys, you know, sells at these levels as price was making its way up, right? But we did not. So where we're at right now is right in this region. So this is that trend line on the weekly time frame that is having difficulties breaking above. It's having tremendous difficulties breaking above. You take your Fibonacci tool from the lows to your highs, and we really haven't had a significant pullback on the 4-hour time frame. This is my little golden zone right here. So if price were to come into this range, this is where we're looking for opportunities to actually buy, right? This is where like a prime opportunity to buy is. But because of where we're at right now, we were looking for opportunities to buy from this zone right here. Let's see. Price looks like it's bottoming out right now. Right, so all right, cool. So we got that right there. So we jump up, We drop down to the 1 hour time frame. All right. So now we broke above this level of resistance, right? What I can expect price to do, boom, stopped out, guys. Woo! Stopped out at GJ. Took that loss. Hey, but it's perfectly fine. We still have 2 more opportunities throughout this session to find an opportunity, whether it's a buy or sell. So let's see here. So now, in retrospect, after we broke above, we came back, we pulled back into the zone, and then we broke above and created a new high, and then we pulled back, created a higher low, and then we created a lower high, or this is just a high. This isn't a lower high until this low is broken. Once this low is broken, which it is breaking, but it hasn't broke simply because there's 38 minutes left in this candle. So this could just wick down here, pick up orders, and then take off to the upside, right? We don't know if it's going to do that or if it's going to actually turn around to fall off. We know that there's a level down here. We know that there is, you know, about 34 to about 50 pips worth of space to come down and create like a new higher low down on this end before it does decide to push up. But we're just sitting tight, right? So drop down even further, 30-minute time frame. You know, we got our levels mapped out. We got our you know, these minor lows, minor level of support right down here. We have like another level of support right in this region here. If I take this, we have another level right in that region there. So we could be double bottoming out before we create some type of pattern to push the upside, right? But we want to see if this support is going to hold right in this region here for us to actually go long. So let's see. Matter of fact, let me leave that there to just look at what I did wrong. We drop down to a 15-minute time frame. We got a lot of consolidation in this region here. And when you have a lot of noise, you just want to jump back up to like a higher time frame just to see what's really happening. So we do have lows, but these are like our minor level of highs right here. Let's change this color. Make that blue. We also make that blue. Right, so we have our level highs and then our level lows, right? Price was just kind of doing this thing sideways, wasn't really making any noise, just moving sideways. Remember, February at like a 786 level, right? But the moving averages are still bullish, right? We got our 20 above our 50, and they're both pointing to the upside right in this region here. Now, once you start to get that curl over where, you know, price does this, the 20 curls below the 50, that's when it's time to look for opportunities to sell the market. It's hard to do that though, like on the smaller time frames, because they are smaller time frames and price could just be retracing to turn around and continue up as it done over here, right? Let's see. As you can see, there was nothing wrong that I did here. It was I seized an opportunity. I saw a level of support that was formed. I saw a massive wick rejection followed by support on a 15-minute time frame, followed by a bullish candlestick pattern, a bullish engulfing, with a second engulfing candlestick right here that confirmed my bias that price was going long. So I took a buy right there, thinking that price would, you know, at least go 1-to-1. I would open the session 1-to-1, and I could further look for opportunities after getting that 1-to-1. But price immediately turned around on me on a 15-minute time frame. And more specifically, if you look at like the lower time frames, such as the 5-minute, you'll see that there was massive wick rejection to the downside. That was followed by like an actual rejection to the downside. What was causing that? If we look at news, let's see if there was any news that caused anything. There's more to bump in German inflation this month than let me say. So you see all of this here with all of this, like, you just want to pay attention to this news. Like, European equities open lower as risk mood stays sour at the start of the session. Like, all of this, like, negative news that just affects, like, the euro and the Great Britain pound. But there really isn't any news. It looks like it's just a sell-off taking place. That level of support was broken, right? But let's see if it closes as broken, or if it just wick rejects. If it's a wick rejection, then we could potentially find an opportunity for a buy down here in this level for us to push higher. But I'm telling you, this level is very strong. It's holding below, right? So to me, I want to start taking sells, but because, you know, levels of structure haven't broke, it'll be hard for me to just like say, all right, we're selling off now. It'll just be too hard. It'll be too hard for me to do that. We're just at a level that just doesn't make sense for sells. Like, on these super small time frames, yeah, you can find sells, but I don't scalp like that. I just look at them for like any type of form of structure that might break back to the upside, you know, to let me know that price is going to start moving up again. Man, this shit makes a lot of noise. Alright, we're at 142.38. Price seems to be wicking away from that level right there, so this might be a sign that we might be going bullish now. We're going back into that support area. Let's see. You see, the only thing we need to be mindful of right here is the fact that there's not massive wick rejection down in this area. Yes, there's wicks here, but what this could be signaling from what I'm seeing is for price to continue down, right? We want to see more wicks, something like this, where they candle these bearish candlesticks, they get very small, similar to here. And then this signals that, all right, the sellers are weak and now the buyers can step back in. You see over here, these sellers candles got very weak. And then the buyers stepped in and pushed price higher. Same here, buyer candles very weak. Sellers stepped in and pushed price down, right? So when you have weak candlesticks in one direction in conjunction with wicks, that's when you can start to signal a change in direction. Good morning, my dog. Good morning. Let's see here. Whew. Your odd took off. Damn, that bad boy took off. J, what does that look like? Looks like nothing I want to play with. Here on NZD. Oh, we getting some wick rejections down there. Alright, so we're still rejecting this level here. This 4-hour candle is bearish, so it's very bearish at that. Daily candle is also bearish. See what 1 hour time frame is telling us. This right here, we don't need that. I'm seeing somewhat of like a head and shoulder pattern taking place. So you got like so you got your shoulder over here, a neckline, the head, another neckline, followed by another shoulder over here, and then price. If price breaks that, we could see like a push down here somewhere, a pull back into this zone, and then it crumbles off if that is the case. If we have made it to the end out of our descent, or made it to the end of our ascend. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper. Let's see what's happening on the lower time frames. There we go. We got 4 viewers in the chat, in the group. If it's your first time here, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the page. We running this Monday through Friday, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. until we find an opportunity. For those of you that are just now in here, we took a buy opportunity right in this region right here. The reason for that opportunity, of course, price created a higher high. It created this higher low right here. It created a high. This wasn't a lower high because this low wasn't broken at the time. It came down, respected this trend line, massive wick rejection, followed by this bullish candle. So we had a form of support right in this region here. When I dropped down to a lower time frame, I saw that, boom, we had this high right here that was eventually broken here. So I took my entry right around this region here at 149, or excuse me, at 49 flat, 4,900, right? And I was targeting my one-to-ones. But eventually what took place was price, it pulled back on me and it turned the opposite direction. So perfectly fine. We just gonna keep running it. We got six viewers in the stream. Hey, if it's your first time here, go ahead and drop a like so we can get this out to a larger audience. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. I don't know. I think we should do a little giveaway or something like that. That boy Ty, Fly Ty the Mac. What's up, baby? Yeah, I feel like I should do a little giveaway, you know what I'm saying, to help grow the stream, grow the channel, to help expose us to a larger audience, do something more effective with these profits from the market. Help out some people or whatever the case may be. Some small, nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? Maybe a little Cash App giveaway. I'll figure that out in the near future. Hey, absolutely, man. We can't block this information and hold it within. We gotta expose it, give it out to the community. That's one thing for certain, bro. Let's see what's happening with gold. So gold ain't my game right now. Moving average cross. What's that? I didn't set that. Maybe I did set it. That doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't set a moving average alert. Yeah, let's delete that. We got 7 viewers in the stream right now. If you're new here, you know what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and drop a like real quick. Go ahead and drop a like so we can expose this stream to a larger audience. All right, so we're starting to push down. I'm thinking we're gonna make our way into the zone down here. Definitely, this was the golden zone based off of the fib that I pulled from up here, from down here to up here, right? So I pulled that fib, boom. We could have a 38.2 retracement and then continue to push. Did you make any after that? Russ, what's up, man? So after the trade that I took, I ended up closing it at break even, simply because it was moving sideways and I wasn't seeing the buyer's momentum to push it any higher. So yeah, it closed around like about, I want to say 2 pips in profit. I just moved my stops to profit, into the profit or break even essentially, and just let it play out. It just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do effectively, so I let it go. John Doe, what up, big dog? Hey man, y'all welcome John Doe. This guy's been around back when I had like 20 subscribers. Every video I would drop, John was always in the stream or always in the chat, in the comments. Hey man, when are you gonna drop new content? I need more information. I need more information. This guy's been around from the start, and honestly, a lot of the videos that are out right now is because of him. You know, is because of him. Simply because I know he's just counting on the information. Closing it in profit was a good idea. Yeah, it certainly was. But you know what makes it worse is the fact that it pulled back, Russ. It pulled back because when we were looking at it, we were let me see where were we at? I believe we were looking at it right. Yeah, we were right in this region here, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it right here? Let me see some. Yeah, we were right here somewhere in this region. I believe we were somewhere in this region. So, you know, it gave us that initial push. It went 1-to-1. You know, it smacked 1-to-1. I could have moved stops to break even, but because it didn't close 1-to-1, it just wasn't significant enough for me to say, all right, cool, it's time to move our stops to break even yet now. So what I did was I left it alone. And then when I started to see this in this region right here, that's when I was like, you know what? I don't really see price going any higher. Not to mention, like, this descending trend line that you see right here, or not that one. This one right here that you see. Let me change the color. Nah, it's too bright. Make it a little bit thicker. So this trend line that you see right here is a weekly descending trend line. So everything that's happening right in this region, you know, I really don't like. I really don't like it. For a bot, the reason why I'm not taking sells is because, you know, the trend is up. Terrace Park, you go, John Doe. But it did drop. Remember when it was stopped here? Create a lower high. It created a lower high. So Russ, when you said it created a lower high, right? Are you talking about on a 1 hour, 4 hour, 30 minute? What time frame are you talking about that lower high? Because if you look at the 4 hour time frame, the trend is still bullish because these were the previous highs, and then this was the higher low, this was the higher high. So this right here, this right here isn't really like a higher low in a sense, simply because this is more of like a tested area. This whole area is like tested candles. Because if you come onto a higher time frame, it's just two candles, right? So this was the high, and now it's coming to form a higher low. So you see here, this was the highest high at the time. This was the highest low, and then this formed the higher high, and this formed the higher low. This was just a high. This formed a higher low. This formed the higher high, and now it looks like it's forming a higher low. Now, if we come down to a 4 hour time frame, if you look like that, yeah. If you look right here, what it looks like to me is price is just coming down to form its lows before it turns to form a new high. Because I do see 143 being tapped. I do see 143 being tapped. Because that's the daily negative, or it's the daily negative 27 Fibonacci level, right? We haven't even touched it yet. So I couldn't see price falling before tapping it. So I would love to see that negative 27 be tapped in that little 143 area before price turns around. And honestly, I do see price breaking this weekly descending trend line. It might take some time, but I do see that being broke. I just don't like how long it's taking. It's taking a very long time to break that. But if we could get, you know, a nice higher low somewhere in this region here, we could see that push that we need to that new level, right? We could see that push. New streamers in the chat, go ahead and drop a like on the stream just so we can expose this to a new audience. If you haven't yet done so, subscribe to the channel. I know everyone that's here has subscribed, so I appreciate each and every one of you guys for certain. If you look like that, yeah. How's you been in the stream? You haven't missed much, John. Hey, it's been so and so for the week. I took. Let's see how many trades I took here. On this funded account, I only took 3 trades. One of which was broken even. It was a break even, and then 2 trades were stopped out. Not an issue. And then on my personal, I took 5 trades. So let's see how this zone plays out. You know, what it looks like to me is we're in this little range. And right now we're at support in that range, right? Because we have the upper range right in this region. This is the upper range. This is the lower range. If we could break out of this range to the downside, pop, we could see that push down to this golden zone, right? Once we get to this golden zone, that's when we want to look for some type of exhaustion, something like this here. Right, what you see here, right in this region, that's exhaustion. So we want to see something like that in that zone. That'll signal price moving up. But if not, we're gonna just, you know, we'll see price sell off. We'll see price sell off. And to be honest with you, price can continue going bullish even if it comes way down here. Why? Because this is just 100% level. So if price were to retrace all the way down here to 100%, it could continue to push back up, right? Because what happened here? Price had formed a higher low, right? And then what do we see here? We've seen price push all the way down here, damn near 100%, and then turn around and just push and break out to the upside. So we could see that type of format take place again, or we could just see some wick rejection back in this level here, followed by a push to the upside. So really what we want to do is just sit tight, you know, see what opportunity is presented. The buy that I took at the beginning of the session, you know, ended up stopping us out simply because it just, the sellers stepped in, you know, they stepped in to push price down. I feel like I keep getting caught in these like sellers traps up in this region here. Honestly, you know, because you gotta look at the yeah, it pays. That's one thing for certain. But look at the JPY, right? If you look at any pair that consists of JPY, one thing you'll notice is the structure that it forms. Go to any other pair, like Euro NZD, Euro Odd is solid as well. Let me see something. UCAD, USD CHF. there's just a lot of movements that take place, a lot of sideways movements, a lot of back and forth movements. You go to GJ, what do you notice? You just notice highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows. You notice all these highs and lows. Now, even though there might be ranges where price moves sideways, you still see your highs and your lows, right? That's one thing. And then two things, like how I've said, it just, there's just a lot of pip movements. You can catch, a solid 30 pips. Solid 30 pips. You can risk 10 pips to catch 30, risk 15 to catch 45. Simple. And then it takes place. GJ moves like if you ever participate on Wicks Don't Lies, his stream around 6:30 a.m. He talks about GJ and why he trades GJ at that specific time. It's because it's not influenced by one or another. Right now, when we're trading GJ, you have the London session that's highly influencing the Great Britain pound, and the Asian session is somewhat still open. So the yen is still being influenced by the Asian session. But once you get to 6:30, something unique happens where the Asian session is coming to a close, or it's closed, and then you're only being influenced by one of the two currency pairs, which is the pound. So the pound is moving simply based off of the London session and not the Asian session. And then you have the New York Open, which is basically coming in to complete the move in whatever direction the yen, the GJ was moving in. But I traded because, I want, me personally, I want to stick to one pair and trade one pair. I trade one pair, stick to one pair, understand that pair's tendency. And I know from trading this in the past, last year, this pair will move, anywhere from 30 to 100 pips in one day. And for me, if I have a 15 pip stop loss, that means all I need is 45 pips in order for me to secure the 1 to 3s. Or if I'm using a 10 pip stop loss, all I need is 30 pips to secure the 1 and 3s. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for someone who trades gold on a live stream, his chat, they do it as well. I haven't played with gold in a while because it's in a, right now it's in a bear flag, or excuse me, a bull flag, where gold has this tendency to, it's bullish, right? We know it's a commodity. It's a a unique commodity that eventually, once you find all of it, you can't make more of it. So gold prices in the long run will always go up. They're gonna always go up. But what happens is gold gets into these ruts where it moves sideways. I like, when I was trading gold, you want to trade gold in like these areas right here. I wasn't trading it here because this is like 2008, 2009. But like right in this region here, this is when you really want to trade gold, right? When it's like pushing. When it's doing this, you get stopped out on both ends. It could be signaling a buy and then a wick will stop you out. It could be signaling a sell, a wick will stop you out. You could get caught in just sideways price action, just all this weirdness, right? Now what you see here is, the bull flag is presenting itself, right? We have the flagpole, right? That's the flagpole, and then you got the flag. So what happens after this is typically it pops above the flag, creates its retest, and then starts to make its ascend to a higher level. And essentially, that higher level could be anywhere. It could be back in the 2000s, 2100. But you gotta be mindful that gold will continue to move bullish in the long run. But right now, where it's sitting, I just don't really play with it because you get stopped out. Like, you take a solid trade on GJ and then you jump to gold, and then gold takes all your profits away. But hey, Russ, I mean, if you want to see someone trading gold, what I recommend doing, man, is just back testing it. Back test it for a few months. Recognize certain patterns. Look at it, from an objective standpoint, from a perspective standpoint, and just see what you could find as far as like, like tendencies, things that happen over and over and over again that you may find. And then you never know, like you might be able to just jump on a stream yourself, create a stream yourself, trading gold. You know what I'm saying? Trading, just simply trading gold. And then people like yourself that want to watch someone trade gold, guess what? You now have that audience. Yeah, I did cryptos too. Cryptos are much easier to trade because there's not so much historical for now. I just watch. Nah, that's love, bro. And I truly appreciate you being here on the streams, man. You were here with us yesterday. You here again. I really appreciate you. So any insight that you have, man, I'm always open. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that I'm any better than you at trading, because the reality of it is I'm not. I'm not. I just take the opportunities that present themselves. But yeah, I did trade cryptos, and I find those easier to trade because there's not enough historical data. There is manipulation, massive manipulation, because you do have people that have made a lot of money, like 100 millions, billions of dollars in crypto. So those guys, they'll sell off crypto to like drop price and things of that nature. But the market cap right now is at $1 trillion, and as that market cap increases, it's going to be harder and harder to manipulate price. So what you're going to see is, there's going to be a time where trading crypto is going to be very seamless. It's going to be very easy to do without manipulation. All right, so we have a test in this area. Job done. So, all right, so we kind of stopped right here in this region. Let's get rid of this real quick. What we got on a 30-minute? Looks like this might be a retest into this level here. Yeah, man. If I were you, I would stay away from binary options. Stay away from binary options and just, find your pair or your commodity and trade that. I traded binary options, and I guess it's because I'm biased. I really couldn't find any grounds, and I was like trading those lower time frames, such as like 1 minute, 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And it just, to me, it just seemed very manipulated, where you would just move stagnant. You would jump in on a call and it'll move sideways, and then it'll just dip down right below your entry price and then stop you out. And you're thinking to yourself, like, damn, like, none of these brokers that I'm trading binary options are regulated SEC brokers. So it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's really happening right now? You right about that. I guess I just never got to that point. All right, so down in this area here, let's see how price plays out. If we get something similar to this here, where we get like a higher low with some wick rejection, I would hate for GJ to just start flying, but let's see if we could get some like higher lows printed with some wick rejection for us to find an opportunity that we can potentially jump into. Any new streamers in here, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's help get this stream out to a larger audience. Let's see what we got going on the 1 minute. So we got 6 minutes left for this candle to close right here. I still think that there's room for GJ to move lower before it moves higher. I still believe that. But if you peep these wick rejections on a higher time frame, such as a 4 hour, we got 50 minutes left of this 4 hour candlestick, right? So with that being said, that means that this 4 hour candlestick is going to close at 5 a.m. We could get that push back lower into the zone and close lower. Or what could happen is price at this point will stop with this wick rejection, create another wick down here in this region, and then turn around and start going bullish as it has done in the past right here. So we'll see how this one plays out. Price has already, made it to a 38.2 level. We got that. We mapped that out. 38.2. That's this region right here. We have previous resistance right in that zone. So if price is done retracing, and that's all it's gonna give us right here, this little reversal right at this region, then yeah, we could be expecting for like a 61. That's very, very dramatic, but like a negative 61 to be tapped, because that's a strong bullish trend from here up there. And honestly, I mean, it's not far-fetched if you think of it from a standpoint of price breaking this descending trend line, right? When price breaks through a trend line, it typically breaks with force, right? There's a lot of force that breaks it through. So I mean, you could see, a massive push, something like that takes place, right? 142.922, and then the next candle comes in and just continues on with the race to the upside. So we're not gonna go that far, and honestly, we're not trading off of the 4 hour time frame. So we're just looking for a small piece of the move at this very, very point in time. But first things first, we want to make sure that the descent is final. There's no more downtrending push. And the only way for us to know that is for, support to be formed, and then, followed by, on a lower time frame, some type of break and retest of a structure. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I think this might be a good opportunity to jump in. We got the 15-minute close. We got a 15-minute close. We got a high creating on a 5-minute, or excuse me, we got a lower, a higher low that formed right here on a 5-minute, somewhere like a head and shoulder pattern. Yeah, I think I'm gonna jump in on this one. Hey, I'm in. 6, 137, 6, 7, 6. It's funny too. See if we can target these highs right over here. Yeah, we're buying. We're going for a buy. First things first, we're looking for our 1-to-1s. Right around this region here. Once we get to that point, we move stops to break even. And then we just let the rest run. I think we might stop at a 1-to-1 tonight. 142.85. That's a stretch. Yeah. And trading is just a patience game. You just gotta sit tight and let the trade play out. It's also a numbers game. If the way you trade is if you believe in the way you trade, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. What's the worst that could happen? This is a 0.5% risk for me. What's the worst that could happen? I lose 0.5%. 0.5%. 0.5%. I wanted to put that into perspective. If you continuously calculate 0.5% every time you take a trade, every single time you take a trade, you calculate 0.5%. If you keep losing, let's say you have $100, right? 1% of $100 is 50 cents. All right, so you take the trade, you lose. Now you got $99.50, right? 0.5% of $99.50 is not 50 cents. It's less than that. It's like $49 and 40. It's like 49.40. It's like 49.25 cents or something like that. It's less, right? It's like 49 cents at that point. Let's say you take another loss. Now you're down to $99, right? 1% of $99 is, I mean, what is that? 90 cents, 99 cents. So 0.5% of that is like 48 cents, right? So it continuously reduces as you go lower and lower and lower. But the thing is, even like trading is 50-50. Like you could just look at the top. Like you can of course increase your odds of winning, but let's say you are brand new to trading, right? You've never traded before, but you started to look at the charts, and then you were like, okay, someone told me to do a top-down analysis, look at the 4-hour, 1 hour, and then take my entries on the 15-minute. So you looked at the 4-hour, it was going up. You looked at the 1 hour, it was going up. So you decided that you were going to take a buy on a 15-minute time frame, right? Just no direction. You were just going to take a buy, right? You knew you needed a stop loss, so you had your stop loss set. You did your calculations, and then you realized that, okay, if it's a 15 pip stop loss, my lot size needs to be here. So you risk your 0.5%, right? You take the trade, you lose. Boom. You take another trade, another buy, you lose. You take another buy, you win, right? 2-to-1. You're doing 2-to-1s. You're not even doing 3-to-1s. You're just doing 2-to-1s, right? You just recoup both of those losses. You take another trade, you win. You're up 2 now, right? You're up. You take another trade, you lose, right? You're down. You're down like 1 or whatever the case may be. Like if you trade in a systematic approach like that, it's virtually impossible for you to go broke. It's impossible for you to go broke. When I take these trades, I don't even have fear anymore. Like I close my phone. Like I can close my phone now and go to sleep. Yesterday, after I took that trade, I moved the stops into break even, and I went to bed. Last year, there were times last year I couldn't even sleep. Like if the trade was open, I could not sleep. I would open trades during Asian around 8, 9 o'clock. And then I would try to go to bed at 11. I would be up at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, just checking my phone to make sure that the trade didn't hit stop loss. Why? Because I was over leveraged. I don't do that now. I've been burnt too much for me to be trying to over leverage, put 10 lots on a position, and try to scour 5 pips, right, with no stop loss. There's no point in doing something like that. So instead of taking that approach, I follow my 0.5% and 1% rule, and I just trade like that. It just makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Hey, we got 7 viewers in the stream. If you're new here, go ahead and drop a like on the stream. Just so we can extend this out to a lower audience. Enter lower on demo now. Nah, that's solid. That's solid, Russ. That's solid. So you entered a buy at a lower position. So you got somewhere down here, basically, is what you're telling me. So if we come down here and we break this low, if we come down here and we break this low, most likely we're gonna end up getting stopped out of this trade right here. Man, cough drop over here. Hey, I'm gonna be right back. I need a cough drop. Well, well, well. Look at what we have here. Leilani, GJ sells now. You might be right about that, Leilani. Yeah, so it's looking like a seller's market, definitely. So the reason why we took this right here is because we had previous rejection over in this region. So I was anticipating the same type of move to take place over here in this region. We had this bullish engulfing that took place. I did have this level that formed. You know what I'm saying? And I considered it being a retest level to push lower, but I didn't touch it. For me personally, took 2 trades, right? Both of those hit stop loss. The first trade I took was like right up here in this region at this 142,500 level, expecting a break to the upside. Didn't take place. Came down here into this region, jumped in right here on this engulfing, expecting price to at least come back up into this region right here to retest these lows over here. That didn't take place. Now it looks like price is selling off. I would just be a little weary of taking that sell simply because of where it's located. There is support down in this region. So if I were to take a sell, because I would have to put my stops above this high right here, you're talking 20 pip stop loss for like a 20 pip game. I'm just to be advised, I'm not in this trade. I just kind of mapped it out just to see how it plays out. Let's see, can we go 8 pip stop loss for 8 pip TP? Damn, is that possible? That thing is moving right now. Let's see, can we go 8 pip stop loss? Nah, this ain't my trade. This ain't my trade. It's starting to clip the 20 moving average, so what that lets me know that there is a potential for it to push down here to the 50, but it's a buy bias. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a buy bias because we've been pushing higher. If I were to take a sell, you know what I'm saying? I'm counter trend trading. And if you're not into counter trend trading, I would highly advise you to stay away from the markets at this given point in time, because right now what's taking place is if you we want price you want price to clearly push lower, retest, create rejection of this support level for it to push down. This is an impulse sell, which is perfectly fine because GJ selling low, no point. Yeah, exactly. But this is a point right here where GJ does impulse moves, right? So you could see GJ just push and then continue to push, never retest. But me personally, if I were to sell, it would have to be up here somewhere, right? It would have to be up in this region up here. Right down here is support. It wouldn't make sense for me to sell at support. It don't make sense to sell at support. If I get more rejection down here, letting me know that price wants to push bullish, then you know we can potentially jump back in for another buy. I think this might be the buy opportunity, y'all. I might take one more for the night. Let's see stop loss purpose wise. Yeah, you know what? We jumping. Buys. It's down, so wait. There they are. I mean, let's see here. What we got? 12 pip. Yeah. So we're going 18. 18, 9, 19, 9. Where's my 1-to-1? 43. Alright, so you see in these wick rejections, this candle right here, this massive wick rejection that we're getting here is letting us know that there's buyers in the market down here. My stops are down here as well, simply because if price does come down here and then it closes below here, there's no point for me to be in the trade any longer. But this wick rejection down here, down at this bottom, is letting me know that there's a lot of buyers that are down here. Price came back to retest this like 142.25 level, which is like a quarter level. So you could see price, like I was telling you before, Russ, the reason why, you know, I trade GJ is because GJ is structurally sound in the directions that it moves. It goes from like quarters to quarters. It does mix its highs, its lows. It does its thing. But essentially from 25, we could see GJ go from 142.250 up to 142.500. Right, this could be the opportunity that pushes there. And honestly, I have, let me see some. Damn, getting static. So this is the last trade for the day, guys. I'm more comfortable to make a decision after cancel close, even if it means missed move. Yeah, so when you talk about candle close, this is what we saw right here. This candle closed. We jumped in right here. There we go. There's that run we're looking for. And then we had a 5-minute close right here to confirm this move right here. Because right here when we first jumped in, we had that engulfing, but then this candle turned around on us, right? But over here, right here, we had our engulfing followed by a wick rejection to the downside and a strong bullish candle. So now we're pushing, right? And we want to see price continue to push, at least smack us, give us this 1-to-1. We get our 1-on-1, we're done trading, and then we do our thing. If you guys were on earlier, you remember I mentioned in the earlier in the stream where I talked about candlesticks, paying attention to the candlesticks, right? So over here, let me see where it was at. Before price went bullish, right? Let me see where we at. Wait, real quick. What is this? Right, get rid of this. This is throwing me off. Before we went bullish, yesterday, right? Price had fell off, but when it was selling off, if you look around this region here, we had all of these. Look at these candles, right? All of these candles were very tiny, very tiny, very tiny candles, right? All of these bearish candlesticks were very tiny. They were all very tiny before we pushed to the upside. Right? So when we come here, what I saw was the same type of pattern right in this region here. We had all of these candles. You see all of these candles. All of these candles, very, very tiny candles, right? With these tiny candles, we have massive bullish candles, right? So what this is letting me know is that the sellers that came into the market to sell the market down, essentially, you know, are now, they're taking their profit. They're done. They're done. They're done doing what they needed to do, and now it's time for the bulls to step in the market and take place, right? So now we got price that is rushing. We got price rushing up. Let's see if we're gonna get our TP, our little TP1 slapped. If we get our TP1 slapped, like I said, guys, I'm out of the trade after this hits. Alright, so let's jump back up to 5 minutes, see what this looks like. It's looking pretty. It's looking pretty. So we broke above the 20. We should come right up here to the 50 level. And then if it is gonna turn around, it'll turn around there. So we'll see how it plays out. We're back at this level. We're back at this level here, which I don't like. This was like just a level of heavy selling pressure right in this region here, hence why price turned around on us right in that region. But we're still in the trade. We're still gonna hold. We're not gonna trip out. Yeah, how GBP on some BS, man. I'm currently in this buy, and I'm only going 1-on-1 on this one, man. I'm going 1-on-1, and I'm going bat to bat. If you're new in the stream, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and drop a like so that YouTube can push this stream out to a larger audience. Subscribe to the channel. There's 6 viewers on here. If it's 6 people that are already subscribed, that's all love, right? But if you're viewing this and you're not subscribed to the channel yet, it's a simple button. Just click subscribe for me. Just click subscribe for me. I will greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. we need for GJ to break this right here. We break that, we're definitely flying up to that TP1. Not even a TP1. We're flying 2 TP. There we go. I will say one thing for certain. GJ has a tendency to move, you know, like 20 pips, 30 pips in a candlestick, but when you be in that trade just trying to catch your 15 pips, it feels like an eternity. It be feeling like an eternity, man, I promise. Let's see. Rejection. Come on, baby. So right where price is at right now, you could do one or two things, right? So if you've taken losses in the past and you want to manage your risk, you can either move your stop loss right below this wick, because this 15-minute candle is still open, but we have 1 minute left before it closes, right? So if you wanted to, you could move your stop loss to about 5.9 pips, right? So where instead of losing the full 12 pips that we had initially, now you're only losing about 6 pips, right? So first and foremost, you gotta wait for price to close. You gotta wait for this candle to close before you can do something like that, because what could happen is it could just completely reject and then just turn around and hit your stop loss. So but I do like this candlestick right here. We got 20 seconds left in this candle. Let's see if we can close similar to how this one is. Three seconds left. 5 a.m. You know, I've noticed one thing, that when these candles close with like no wick at the top, the next candle is typically the opposite color candle. I don't know. I don't get that though. I'm still trying to figure it out, because I understand bullish Maribozus and bearish Maribozus candles. Those are just like, you know, straight up strong candles like this, right? But so over here it didn't do it, right? But Like right here, it's starting to do that. And I know Raja during his session, he always talks about that too. But I'm still trying to figure out why that is. So I haven't moved my stops. My stops are still where they're located. So for anyone that was in here, I know Leilani was talking about GJ sells right now. The reason why, in my opinion, GJ did not sell off was because of this level, right? So this level was a previous resistance, right? So price came down here into this region, and I understood selling it, but this is the reason why I say if you're gonna counter trend trade, at least wait for that break, a full break, and then a retest, right? Because that confirms it, and then it give you some wick rejection, and then sell it off. But because price is bullish on a long-term scale, to me it doesn't make sense to go bearish in a market where the bulls are primarily in control. In this small given point of time, this 12-hour given point of time, the bears are in control, and this is just simply because you know, the buyers are taking profit. They were up here in this region. Their TPs were hit, so they were taking profit. So the bears step in and just kind of push price down a little bit further. But what happens is once price gets down to a low point, the buyers step back in to push price higher, right? So that's what we have going on now, right? So you had the sell off, and now bears have stepped in to push price down. They're creating their lows, and then the buyers are going to step back in to push price higher. So we have a new 1 hour candle. So with this candle right here, because it's a brand new 1 hour candle, it opens up to create its lows, and then it's going to essentially go to create its highs, wherever those highs are going to essentially be. Every candle does that. So we had price open up here, it created its highs, and then what it do, it created its lows. Price opened up here, it created its lows, and then it pushed to create its highs. Price opened up here, it created its highs, it pushed down here to create some lows, but then ended up closing here. So every candle, when it opens up, it always creates its highs, and then it creates its lows before it closes where it wants to close. So we haven't had a high created yet, so we still have to wait for that to form. There's a wick right here, so I can imagine this candle at least trying to come to tap this wick, and if it does tap this wick, we're definitely gonna smack our TP1 or our TP. See, this is where your confidence has to step in, right? It has to step in, and you have to tell yourself that this trade is not anything similar to any of the other trades that I took in the past, right? Because you may see this and then close it prematurely because you're saying to yourself, "Oh, I've seen this in the past. This happened to me. I got burned on this, so I'm gonna close it." Right? You're allowing your subconscious mind, your mental mind to alter what the market is actually telling you. There's massive wick rejections in this area. So for me, it doesn't make sense. Although there is a level of resistance that's formed right here, we want to see that pop so our TP could get tapped, right? But hold on real quick. But if you're looking here, right? So we're looking here. You might be seeing this candle push down, and you're like telling yourself, "Oh crap, price is gonna hit my stop loss. I'm gonna just close it here so that I could get out the trade with, a small loss versus a big loss." And that's true. It might work, some of the times, because it might just push lower, and then, it would have stopped you out with 1%, but you ended up closing it with 1/4%, which is perfectly fine. But what you want to keep in mind and what you want to pay very close attention to is letting your trades run, letting them breathe, because trades they need to breathe. They need to, create their highs, create their lows, and do their thing. You have no control over that, right? All you have control over is you setting your entry price, setting your take profit, and setting your stop loss. And that's it. And managing risk, as Raja Banks will say, managing risk. Meaning, if trade does decide, to go against you, and it's halfway to your stop loss, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna let the whole thing stop you out, or are you gonna take half off the table, and then if the other half stops you out, you've lost less on that trade because you took half off the table, right? Or are you just gonna let the whole thing stop you out, right? Or if price is going in your favor and it's pushing up, are you going to move your stops to break even? Are you going to move your stops to break even and then just let it run? And if it stops you out, then you didn't lose anything, you didn't win anything? Or are you going to prematurely close your trade before it hits 1-to-1? You see, if once price hits 1-to-1, right? And we always give it like a little extra, right? We give ourselves just a little bit extra just so that, we can suffice for spreads, right? So once price hits 1-to-1, you have locked in your profits, right? So a trade that may have lost, you have recouped those losses in a sense. We're not revenge trading. We're taking this trade opportunity, but you have recouped your losses. There are so many opportunities that present themselves where you can get 1-to-1s. Risk 8 pips to make 8 pips. Come down to support. You see a bullish engulfing. Risk your 8 pips to make 8 pips. If you see right here, if we were, let's say, candle low was 4 pips. So let's say we were risking 8 pips to make 8 pips. We potentially would have already smacked our take profit just off of that there. So you just want to be mindful of your risk and reward, how you're playing the game. Are you cutting your losses prematurely, and all of that there. Anyone that's new here in the stream, go ahead and drop a like on the stream so we can spread this to a larger audience. Subscribe to the page if you're brand new. A lot of quality content that's coming out. So if you're ready to learn, subscribe to the page. I promise you won't be disappointed. Come on, baby. Oh, snap. This is exactly what happened yesterday. Price was hovering just somewhat in profit. Closed it with a little bit of profit, and then it eventually turned around on me. But this is a brand new trade, so this opportunity is completely different from any other opportunity that had presented itself in the past. So you see how the sellers are trying to push price lower, but we're getting wick rejection down here in this area here. So what we don't want to see these massive candles. We don't want to see that. Wick rejection down in this region here is exactly what we want to see. So if we can get a close down here, we could get our 1-to-1, and honestly, we could see price come up here and tap this 142,500 level. But there's heavy selling pressure right in this region here. And the reason why I know this is because when price came down here, it immediately pushed away from this level, right? So what happens is the sellers need to get taken out of the market in order for the buyers to be able to push the market higher. Once those sellers are taken out, which I believe is going to take place here in the next, 5 to 15 minutes, we're going to definitely see that push up that we were expecting. This is pretty to me. This wick rejection right here. This is very pretty to me. I love seeing this. I love seeing this. Wick rejection, wick rejection, wick rejection. Last time we had that wick rejection, we had a candlestick shoot up 6 pips, 7 pips. So if we could get that same type of action, we should be able to shoot up, into the zone. Okay. These articles are just gossip. New chronic. Let's look at a 3-minute time frame. See, these red candles are getting smaller. Green candles are still larger than the red candles. That was a massive red candle. Then we had our green candles, our buyer stepped in, and then these red candles got smaller. Green candles again, push the price up. Red candle, smaller push. Green candle still fighting. Red candle, wick rejection, got smaller. Green candle still pushing. Wick rejection. Alright, so we got 5 seconds left. We're gonna push up a little bit. happened to the music? Music be going out on me. Oh, music over with. You see these, how it's flatlining like that? Sellers are exhausted. Sellers are exhausted. Sellers are exhausted. Yeah, low level, minor level right there. Let's see if we could pop above that. I'm gonna tell you this though. You got buyers and sellers are right in between both ranges. Buyers and sellers are. At this point, all that matters is whose money is longer. Who has longer money? Is it the buyers or is it the sellers? And I'm leaning towards the buyers. I'm leaning towards the buyers. All right, so this is, I mean, we're in this final trade, and let's see. So we're in this final trade of the day, of the morning. Like I said, what we want to see is we want to see that push. We want to see that final push. There you go. Let's see if this is going to be the one that breaks through this zone right here. Oh, GJ, what are you doing? Come on. If you look here, check this out. Back, baby. Reconnected successfully. Excellent. I see we got some new people on the streams. If you're new here on the stream, go ahead and drop a like. put that. There it is. So GJ is just moving sideways. In profit, out of profit, in profit, out of profit. Oh my God, I feel like I'm watching a boring ass movie right now. We want to see price break above this little area right there. Once we get the break above that area, then we want to see price. Then we want to see price break above this little area right here. We have two areas where GJ needs to break above. Anybody that's new in the stream, go ahead and drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. A lot of new content on the way. You won't be disappointed. I promise you that. We got 6 viewers in the stream. Go ahead and drop a like. Let's get the likes to the viewer count. Somebody just drop a like. There we go. There we go. Love. That's love. So currently in this GJ buy, waiting for price to break above this area and then make its way back up here to break this area. And then once we get above that area, we're looking to go 1-to-1. Logan White, what's up, man? You made it towards the end of the session. What time is it over there in New Zealand? There we go. We got the initial break. Got the initial break that we wanted. No, we didn't. Damn, we're getting a lot of movement right now. Let me see something real quick. Damn, 11:15 at night. Shit, it's almost time for you to go to bed, bro. Shoot, New Zealand, if that's the case, it's lit for you trading London session, because it's, damn, like, I can't close. Let me see something real quick. We got 3 minutes left on the 30. Because if it's 11:25, we started 2 hours ago. 9 o'clock. Damn, your London session is 8 p.m. That's perfect. That's perfect. Alright, so we got 3 minutes left. Price is starting to push. Seven streamers right now, 7 viewers on the stream right now. If you're new here, drop a like. Let's try to get the likes to the viewer count. There we go. See what GJ is gonna do here. Man, I got this cold. This cold is just bugging me. Fucking savage. Honestly, guys, we're ranging right now. Just sideways movement, and it's really unfortunate. If anybody's in the trade right now, stops are still located where they're located. TP is still located where it's located, 101. Anybody that was new, that was an opportunity to jump back into the trade for a buy. I envision this trade, hitting TP, but it might just take some time. And honestly, I'm exhausted, so I'm not gonna sit here and just watch this shit move sideways. If it's gonna stop me out, it's gonna stop me out. If it's gonna hit my take profit, it's gonna hit my take profit. But after this trade, there is no more trades for me. So we're gonna end up closing the stream now. And anybody that's monitoring the trade and look at GJ. Look at this. Now momentum wants to kick in when I'm talking about jumping off the stream. Yeah, brother. Thank you, Logan. I appreciate you jumping on the stream. And hey, man, if it's 11:25 over there or 11:30 over there right now, let's see, 4:30, 3:30. So at 9 p.m. your time is when the streams take place. They start at 9 p.m. your time. So, there's another opportunity that's presenting itself if you want to jump in for the buy down here in this region. And then we're targeting our 1-to-1s up here at this 142.43. So there's that opportunity. I appreciate everybody that jumped on the stream for today. A solid session. We took 2 losses, but this trade right here, we're gonna let it play out. If we end up hitting stop loss on this one, we're done trading for the day. We're down 1.5%. And we're just gonna call it a play. We're gonna call it a play. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. sharp. And I look forward to another session with you all. Peace.